Fett just finished airing on Disney Plus, but I have one major grudge with this. Book of Boba Fett is definitely a book, and to be honest, that is extremely boring. So I did the world a favor and made Book of Boba Fett into a game, and also in like 5 days too. Alright, so first things first, I needed to create the project. So I opened up Unity and got started. And before I get a ton of comments, yes, this game is 2D. But this is because I really want to make this game like the old Lego Star Wars website games that were basically a Star Wars 2D flash game platformer, which I used to play all the time when I was younger, until it was smite down by Adobe Flash being deleted. Anyways, right after I got the project up and running, I immediately started on making a movement script. And when I say making a movement script, I mean just copying and pasting one I had from another 2D game I made. Now that I had the basics set up, it was time to work on the fun stuff. And right off the bat, I wanted to have a jetpack mechanic so that you could use your jetpack to fly through the levels and obstacles. And after looking around for some tutorials, I found this one by Blackthorn Prod on how to make just what I needed. Now, it's not super insane or anything, and it literally just makes you jump depending on how long you hold the spacebar for, but it does the job, alright? Alrighty, now let's play a little game called Can You Spot the Missing Feature in My Game? And if you guess graphics, then you're wrong. I'm adding a gun, you fucking dingus. And so with about 2 brain cells left, I started making a working gun for Boba Fett to use. And I actually did this live on Twitch at twitch.tv/NathanOnLive. So yeah, please go follow me because I've been streaming me playing games and doing some other game dev stuff. So go follow me or else. And after going through about 4 tutorials, I found one by Muddy Wolf, which finally worked. Thank you, Muddy Wolf, I approve. Now at this point I was pretty knocked out, so I called it quits for the day and jumped into bed. Day 2, I decided to write up a list of things I need to get done on Troll.com, and next up on the list was to make some enemies. And so I got to work on just that. And this is actually really simple to implement. All you gotta do is make a script that checks if what's hitting it is a bullet, and if so, then it destroys the object. See, even the TikTokers can understand it. But right now we're invincible, which means the game is way too easy. Not like any of my other games have ever been hard anyways. So I threw together another enemy script to make the player die whenever you hit the enemy. And now we had all the main mechanics, so we could finally start working on the graphics. Okay, so I'd like to say I opened up Photoshop and got started, but I seriously couldn't be bothered to make a sprite because 1, I'm a lazy piece of crap, and 2, I am terrible at pixel art. Foreshadowing. And I found this pretty spicy sprite of Boba Fett from pngkit.com. And boom, we got our boy walking around 100% perfectly. Wait, what? Alright, after making a script that flips the player depending on which direction you walk, we got our player up and running. Okay, so right now, all we have is a model for Boba, and so I began gathering models for all the other enemies. Now, while I deal with that, why don't you go hit that juicy subscribe button, because my dad said that when I get to 10,000 subscribers, he will finally love me. So please, get me to 10,000 subscribers so I can get validation from my dad. So in order to avoid being doxxed by Star Wars fans, I made enemies that were actually in the show. I started off by getting a Jabba the Hutt twin sprite, but I quickly realized that this is only one enemy, and there is more than one enemy in the show, which meant I had to find even more models. And the next enemy I was planning on adding were the pikes. The thing is, I had an itsy-bitsy problem. I couldn't find any 8-bit sprites of these guys with a quick Google search, so I had to search beyond Google. And after traveling far and wide across the earth, after hours of searching the ground and the sea, I found it. The perfect pike model. Yeah, so I know it sucks crap and I'm literally doo-doo at 2D modeling, but since there was nothing else, I still used it. Look, bro, I'm not the brightest, okay? Just call me some slack, man. Anyways, we now have another problem. The enemies literally don't move, which is no fun. So I took up a troll script from another game I'm working on and threw it on the enemies, and boom, the enemies are now complete. After that, I found an 8-bit desert background, and I could now finally start working on maps. And so I started doing just that. Yeah, so I only got one crappy map done in 2 days, which meant that I only had 1 day to complete the entire game. And that's when the crunch kicked in. I started by adding some lava that kills you when you hit it to actually punish falling, which is super simple. All you need to do is make a script that destroys the player whenever they enter the lava's collider. After that, in order to make the game have some challenge, I added this moving red laser that you get to dodge and try not to hit. What does this have to do with the Book of Boba Fett? Well, they're blaster lasers from the enemy. And all I did to make this was make the spinning circle using Unity's particle system and then just slap the lava script on there. And to make it move up and down, I'm gonna be honest with you here, I just copied the code from Alex on low scope. So thank you, Alex, I approve. I then cropped out the ground into its own image in Photoshop and used that as the platform for the maps. And finally, I made an ending to the game, which is triggered when you finally get past all the enemies and get to your speeder. Now, I'm not gonna show the ending here because it is way too cool and I really want you all to experience it for yourself. Nah, this is the ending. I know, beautiful. I then went to go make more maps when something happened. come on, man. Dude. The time ran out. So yeah, that's how I made Book of Boba Fett into a game in only 5 days. And since I got an unholy amount of comments asking for my game last time, I finally have a download for this game. I did add more maps and a main menu so it's more fun for you all to play, but yeah, the link is in the description. Also, I'd like to take a moment to thank you all so much for the massive amount of support lately. We went from 400 to 6,000 subscribers in literally 2 months, and I really can't thank you all enough for that. Also, I'm gonna try and not do what I did with my upload schedule recently as much again in the future because yeah. Anyways, follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter, and join the Discord server to stop it from being a Spider-Man fan club. Like, please. It is literally all just Spider-Man. I am tired of seeing Spider-Man. And I'll see you next time. So in order to be... So... Oh my god, this is depressing.